Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and on this podcast, I show you how to grow in a business as well as in the mindset that's needed to reach your goals as a business owner, and that will help you grow your life because you're going to be able to do more, accomplish more, and be more, and just live a more successful life. That's what this podcast is all about. Listen, if you haven't joined the hashtag Grow Your Life Facebook group, be sure to join it. There's over 1,500 business owners, entrepreneurs just like yourself in there that are growing in their businesses. And you can ask any question there. There's no such thing as stupid questions in that group. And you're not going to be judged for asking a question that you might think is silly. So that's a safe place for you. Check that group out. Now today, I want to talk about something that is really on my heart. I was at a mastermind yesterday where I was speaking to about 20 songwriters and musicians. I'm going to go back. There's another group of 20 this weekend that I'm speaking to as well. That's why I'm recording this on Wednesday instead of my normal Friday that I record it, and then it goes out on Monday. But you guys didn't know that. I do usually once a week. I just set aside some time and make this podcast, and that's my process for it. Is I set aside that time and I stick to it, and I've stayed consistent over 121 episodes now that we've done. It's an archive. It's like a master class. If you go through the episodes, it's like a college really for you to grow as a business owner. And one of the biggest things that yesterday, just back to my story, we were at this mastermind, and one of the biggest things that kept coming up was people were saying, well, should I do, my Facebook page or my website first, or should I get the ads up, or should I build my following first, or should I make content first, or should I start marketing and building my brand first? And I realized, I hear the same questions from business owners, entrepreneurs, no matter what product they're selling, no matter what service they're selling, which one should I do first? And so I'm going to break that down for you so that you know what to do first when building your brand, what the best place to start is when building your brand to get the most results, the most effective way of doing that. And the truth is that we can get overwhelmed by all the steps and all the stuff that we have to do. And I get it. You don't want to waste time doing stuff that doesn't work. You want to make sure that you're starting on the right foot. But I see that as a negative that stops people from doing anything far more often than not, is they are waiting until they have it all figured out what the next perfect step to do is before they do anything. And that's why I tell people, taking imperfect action consistently every single day, posting videos, 3 to 4 reels and TikTok posts every single day. That's what's going to help you get results far more than overwhelming yourself with making sure that you're doing all of those things perfectly. And this group that I was talking to, they're songwriters. When you're writing a song and you're putting it out there and you're publishing it on Spotify and you're wanting to reach millions of people with your songs, you have to make sure those songs are perfect, right? But when it comes to marketing, when it comes to putting yourself out there, when it comes to building your brand, people spend way too much time around perfectionism in their marketing and brand building. And perfectionism around branding, marketing, advertising is a huge detriment to your goals. It's going to hurt you in the long run. The only people that disagree with me usually when I say that are agency owners or service providers that do marketing for people, because that's their job, is that type of stuff. And I'm here to say, honestly, in my years of experience, 18 years building businesses online, helping business owners, imperfect action, prolific volume of marketing, putting a lot of stuff out there is far more effective than making 1 or 2 little perfection pieces and doing the 1 to 2 perfect little steps before you show up. And so we have to work through as well, what's the mindset behind that? I still talk to people 2 years later after I've coached with them, still right back where they are, right where they were. Stuck on this perfection wheel, afraid to move forward, afraid to take action because they're not sure if it's going to produce a result. Listen, you're going to have to get comfortable with taking action even if it doesn't produce the result that you were hoping for. And start taking imperfect action. I say that every single week on this podcast practically. Imperfect action is what produces results. Once you do that, you can look at, okay, all the different things in marketing that you're doing, and you're not going to have to take as much time to do all the things that you need to do because you're just going to do one thing, move on to the next, and make it about speed and execution. You want to prioritize the speed of your branding far more than should I do step 1 first or step 2 first. Getting both of them done as fast as possible and then going back and adjusting stuff later, not being worried about setting a bad first impression, not letting that get in your head, that's what's going to produce financial results for you as a business owner, is we start at a certain baseline. Listen, if you're not already a household name, nobody cares that much about how perfect your stuff is. And you're going to look back at the perfect stuff that you're doing now, no matter how perfect it is, in a year or two from now and say, wow, that really wasn't that great. Promise you that. And so it's not worth it to get stuck in that rut of, well, which thing should I do, A or B? And to be honest, I very rarely talk to anybody that says, oh, I just don't know what to do at all. They're usually stuck in their head too many ideas of what to do, overwhelmed by what to do first. And so they're waiting until they feel some sort of safety, security, peace about what to do first before they do anything. You're going to have to take action without peace. You're going to have to take action without it feeling good. You're going to have to take imperfect action when it feels like the wrong decision. That's how you reach your goals with your marketing, because there's not going to be a day where you know that there's that perfect thing. Now, if you have a mentor, if you have a coach, and that's what I do with people, is I help mentor and coach them along the way. If you have somebody to help walk with you and guide you and come alongside you, they can point out, hey, let's avoid that. Let's do this. One of the biggest things, I can't stress this enough, for people that they need to avoid, like red flag, and yet I see everybody doing it that is not reaching their sales goals, and everybody who is reaching their sales goals not doing it. It's like the line in the sand is they're taking way too long to get their funnels up, their web pages, their social media posts. They're taking way too long to get everything up because they're not sure what to do or if it's the right thing to do. Do something. It's better than nothing. Start there, even if it's not perfect, even if you don't know if it's going to produce the right result or not. You have to retrain and reprogram your brain and rip out whatever that thing is inside of you that tells you that that's bad to be successful as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And then you have to have the drive and the discipline to stay consistent every single day, even when you're getting no results. You still keep doing it. That, my friends, is what separates people who just want to be successful and those that actually are, is they stick with it when there's zero results. To trust the process. And they humble themselves enough to ask for help from mentors and coaches. They're relentless in their personal development, personal growth, learning, admitting to themselves that they don't know everything. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. You're not a little special snowflake on the planet Earth that knows everything. And you don't need to know everything, by the way, before you get started. I meet many people, they're waiting until they know everything before they take their first step. First off, knowledge is based on action, not up here. You don't know anything till you start doing it. That's actually definitive. And so you have to start implementing and taking those risky steps every single day to do those things, those imperfect steps. Those are the right things to start with when building your brand. And so if you can start there, taking imperfect action when building your brand every single day, even when it's not producing the results that you want, even when it feels like there's no traction, nobody's listening to you, nobody's paying attention, the process and teaching yourself the discipline to stick with it, even when nothing's working, is going to produce results for you in the long run. You might say, well, I need to make some money, or I got limited time. I don't have enough time to do all that, Jeremiah. I need to know what the right thing is to do right now, and then I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's a big old excuse. That's all it is. Do the things that you know to do. Have you gone through my courses? Have you listened through my podcast? If the answer is no, do that. And I walk you through step by step through those. How to build offers, how to build a website, how to create a course, create an asset for yourself, how to launch it with Facebook ads, how to get stuff up, how to get stuff going. Oh yeah, but I gotta learn it all before I figure it out, and I gotta know it's gonna work before I do anything. That's already setting yourself up for failure to begin with, to have that mindset. And that's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that separates successful entrepreneurs from those that just want to be. If you can start to take imperfect action, take risky action, even with the possibility of total, absolute failure, and become okay with things not going your way, and become okay with things not working out how you want them to all the time, so that you can learn and discover and gain the knowledge and the experience to go through the process. Like, until you do that, don't even talk to me about, well, I don't know what the right or wrong thing is, and I got to make sure it's all the right thing before I take action. I'm sorry, but that mindset, I would highly recommend that you work through that, personal development wise, or go get a job and work for somebody else, because you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur with that thinking. There's way too many layers of that thinking that will not work as an entrepreneur, and your time will be much better spent working for somebody else for a paycheck. If you're somebody that wants to reach your goals as an entrepreneur, you will take risks every single day. You will not be afraid to jump and figure it out as you go. You will not be afraid of things not working out. You won't be afraid of failure in the short term, because you're afraid of long-term failure. That's the thing. You're afraid of not trying more than you are failing in the short term, because you know that if you don't try, that's failure, and not doing anything is failure. But as long as you stay consistent, you can reach those goals. I cannot stress this enough. And for those of you that this is just it's difficult, I really mean it. It's better if you go work for somebody else. You grow in some skill sets, maybe working for somebody else, before you put yourself out there to take that risk as an entrepreneur. Because there is no way to be successful as an entrepreneur. That's why not everybody's a millionaire. They're not willing to do the hard stuff, the discipline needed to show up every day when you don't feel like it, when everything's going wrong, when you're tired, when you don't even feel like you can go on and you keep showing up. I'm exhausted today. But you know what? I ate my food. I drank my coffee. I had some water. Took the morning to kind of relax a little bit. And then I got fired up to meet with you guys because inside of me, I cannot not help you guys. Making this podcast lights me up because I know the impact that it has for the people that listen to it. And so you're going to have to start doing the things. If you don't know what those things are, humble yourself enough to learn and to ask for help and get specific about the area that you need help with. I don't know what to do first. With what? Get specific. Answer those questions. Well, with building my website. Okay, what part? Get specific, right? When you start asking questions, get specific. Because then you're going to get specific answers versus just generic information. There's so many resources out there on the internet right now. YouTube, Facebook. There is no excuse to not seek out and learn what you don't know in 2021 because there is always an opportunity for it. And the only reason that maybe you're not setting apart some time to learn, some time for learning for yourself, is because it's not that important to you. We prioritize in our lives what is important to us. And so you're going to have to decide what's more important to do every single day. And if you're somebody that wants to be a business owner, wants to be an entrepreneur, you are going to have to develop, shift, move your life around to create a life that is different than the one that you've been living up to this moment in time, that allows you to build your business and to stay consistent every single day. Even if that hasn't been how your life has been up to this moment in time, you have the ability to move those things around, to shift and to adjust them. You have to be the one that takes ownership of your life. You are not a victim to your circumstances. You're not a victim to any situation that you're experiencing right now. Period. It's time for you to decide, I'm going to go after this thing with all that I got. Nothing is going to stop me. Nothing is going to prevent me from going after my goals and impacting the world with what's inside of me. That's the drive that's going to take you far as an entrepreneur, because you can't help but take big risks every single day. That's the difference. Entrepreneurs can't help but jump without knowing how they're going to land. Is that you? If not, that's an area that you might need to grow in and figure out. Shift those limiting beliefs. Change those limiting beliefs. It's a great book that I love called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I listen to it at least every other month myself, because I realize every level that we get to, we got new limiting beliefs that are stopping us. Every level that we get to, there's new stuff that's holding us, a ceiling, a limit. Billionaires experience this. Millionaires experience this. Every level of success that you go to, there's new things that then you have to work on up here to get to the next level, and the next level, and the next level. And we're constantly learning. Commit your life to being a learner your whole life, and then a doer of what you learn. And that will take you far, my friends. Now listen, if you're building a business and you need some help knowing what are the things that are going to take me to the next level, what's going to help me get more sales online, schedule a free 45-minute call with me on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com/free call. And let's talk about your business and how you're going to take it to the next level. I'd love to help you. We're going to go through a deep dive together of your business, break it apart. It's not a sales pitch either. It's a true strategy call to figure out, okay, what do we need to shift? What do we need to adjust? What knobs do we need to turn to get things working more in your favor? So schedule that free call with me on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com. As well, check out the other podcast episodes of this podcast. Check out my courses on my website. Grow your life, everybody. We'll talk soon. Have a good one.